Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad. This is Firefighter's Financial Toolbox. Investing in international stocks. Should we do it? If we take a look at the last 10 years or so, international stocks have done terrible. We've beaten them by as much as 10% in some years. Is it really worth still investing in international companies and international stocks at all? Let's talk about it today. All right, first of all, yes, American stocks have beaten international stocks pretty handedly for the last 10 years. If we take a look at this chart, you can see that the international stocks are trailing the S&P 500 massively. But why would we invest in international stocks? Let's talk about the pros and the cons. First, we're going to talk about the pros. And the biggest pros to investing in international stocks is, number one, is diversification, you guys. Now, what is diversification? Diversification is not putting all your eggs in one basket. So what that means is sometimes when the American stocks are going down, international companies actually rebound and do better. So it gives you a little bit of increased safety in your portfolio. If all your money is invested in one company and it tanks, you're out of luck. The more companies you have, the more you can spread those eggs around, the better chance you're going to have of having a successful career in investing. It also lowers your risk a little bit for the same reason, because you've spread the number of companies that you own out, not only from one country, but when you invest internationally, you could be investing in 30 or even more countries and spreading that wealth out through a lot of companies. Let's talk about the cons of international investing. Okay, so the biggest con for international investing is the cost. Investing in companies from the United States, as a rule, mutual funds and ETFs that are domestic cost less. And a perfect example of this is VTSAX, the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index. Has an expense ratio of 0.04%, 4 basis points, you guys. Very inexpensive. If we look at Vanguard Total International Stock Market Index, you see that that has a cost of 0.11%. So it's almost 3 times as expensive, and these are very low cost funds. Now, when we look at this difference in cost, because these are low cost funds, it's not as big a deal. But let's take a look, for example, at my wife's 401k cost. Now, I have my wife completely invested in the Vanguard 500 index, which, as you can see, also has an expense ratio of 0.04%. But if we take a look at the international offering that we have in her, or a couple of the international offerings that she has in hers, first one she has is a Fidelity Overseas International Index. And you can see the expense ratio on that is 0.9%. Almost a full percent, you guys. And if we look at, if we want, and that's for a developed market index. If we wanted in some emerging markets, you guys, you see she's got an option to use the Invesco Oppenheimer Developing Markets Fund. Expense ratio 1%. So pretty much she's going to spend $100 for every $10,000 she has invested in that fund per year. That's a lot of money, you guys, especially over a 20-year or longer investing career. The other thing it does is it also increases the complexity of your portfolio. Because as you know, when you set up your portfolio, you're going to set up your asset allocation. You're going to say, I want X percentage in stocks, I want S percentage in bonds or safe investments, cash. And then within your stock portfolio, you're going to decide how much I want in large cap, how much I want in small cap, how much I want in international, how much I want in domestic. How much is the correct amount? That's an individual choice, you guys. If we talk about how much you should invest in international stocks, Vanguard research suggests that you have a minimum of 15% of your stocks invested in international. Now, I know they've come to change that to between 20 and 40%, with about 30% being the golden spot. But that's not for everybody. Not everybody agrees that you have to have that much in international. But think about this. The MSCI All World Index says that 47% of the global marketplace in stocks is outside of the US. So these are companies that are all based and operate outside the United States. So that's about half of the world stock market, that if you didn't invest in some sort of international fund, you'd be missing out on basically half of the stocks in the world. Might be something to think about. Now, as I said, this is a very personal choice, you guys. And just because I choose to personally keep around 25 to 30%, depending on how often I rebalance into it, that's the way I do it. Some people I know invest half of their stock allocation in international, and some decide not to have any. What's the right answer? I don't know that there actually is one. I do believe that it adds some complexity, but it also adds some diversification by adding the international funds. I personally hold them. Actually, we choose, because of the cost, to hold all of our international in my wife's Roth and in part of her rollover IRA, because we can keep those at a low cost, in this case Vanguard, so we keep them at a low cost brokerage and we keep our costs down. If I were to use one of the funds in my 457 for international, it would cost me about 0.5%. I'm not willing to do that because I have a cheaper option. Remember to look at your whole portfolio as one, you guys, and that may mean your workplace plan, your 401k, your Roth, all of these combined together. You do not have to have multiple funds that copy each other, all of these accounts. You may have a low-cost S&P 500 that you use for your 401k, and you may have an international fund in your Roth. There's no right or wrong way to do it, you guys. The biggest thing is getting started and getting invested. All right, I hope you got something out of this. If you did, you guys, do me a favor, drop me a like. If you're not already subscribed, you guys, hit the red button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. You'll get notified every time I make a video. I make at least 1 or 2 a week. We talk about investing, taxes, retirement, and overall financial well-being. If this is something that interests you, come on back.